Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Networking Hub. We're delighted to have you here today or tonight, wherever you're joining from. And I'm sure it's going to be a fabulous session. We have awesome speakers. I'm Lesley Kaplan. I'm delighted to have met many of you in person. Some of you have been online, some have been in person, and some we met at the recent Jerusalem conference, the business conference that I organized. Whether you're joining us live or if you're watching the recording, I invite you to sit back and enjoy a fabulous, fabulous session. Yes, we're at a very challenging time for Israel, especially this week, and it's been going on for 500 days, more than 500 days. So I know it's not easy for all of us to focus, but I'm delighted that you joined nevertheless, because Israel and our beautiful country needs us to continue as normal. That is what is keeping the economy and sustaining the economy, especially small businesses. I thank also our sponsor, Nardis Advisors. Thank you to them. And thank you to all of you for joining. So how do we work tonight or today, wherever you're joining from? We're going to be having three amazing speakers who I'm going to be introducing in just a moment. We're also going to be having two sets of breakout rooms. You're not obliged to join the breakout room. You can stay in the lobby. The first one will be for 10 minutes and the second one also for about 10, 12 minutes. We'll see how the timing goes, but that's what's scheduled. Take advantage of the breakout rooms. This is a great opportunity for you to network, to get to know other business owners, and to share information. There will also be informal networking throughout the chat. Please do keep yourselves on mute throughout the entire time, and you will unmute yourselves during the breakout rooms. We will also, if there's any questions, the way we're going to do it tonight is going to be through the chat. So ask any questions to any of the speakers in the chat. They will take the opportunity to answer them, either one of our speakers, or if you're asking a particular speaker, they will answer it once they have completed speaking. If for some reason we don't get to all your questions, each of the speakers will get a copy of the chat, and they will also be sharing the information, and they will hopefully answer your question afterwards. I remind you too, for those of you that are new to this, that we do not record the breakout rooms for your own privacy, so feel free to totally share. All right, so what I'm going to be doing before we get going with the breakout rooms is I'm going to be starting to introduce our speakers one by one. And I'm going to actually do it in the order that they're speaking. So Abe, I'm going to spotlight you first, just for a couple of minutes. Tell us, I'll introduce you, but just give a hello, give a brief introduction. We're then going to go to Mike and to Ma'ayan. And then we're going to be getting straight into the breakout rooms from the very beginning. Yes, if you thought that you're going to be sitting back, then you will, but a little bit later. So Mike, not Mike, Abe, I'm going to be spotlighting you first. I'm going to be replacing you. Good evening, welcome, delighted to have you here. So who is Abe Braha? He's the founder of Icebreaker Sales Development. As a sales expert, he specializes in cold outreach and business development, and he helps businesses scale from founder-led sales to high-performing teams. Abe, good evening, welcome. Give us your quick introduction.
First of all, thank you so much for having me. This is really cool. Just watching people like pour in is like crazy. Um, so Lesley really just said it very well about what I do, but I live in Israel. I live here in Bet Shemesh. I moved here about 6.5 years ago. I live with my wife and kids. And I guess like Lesley said, I help businesses build out sales. I found that it's a very big struggle in terms of finding new leads, closing more deals. Everyone wants more of those. So that's what I kind of do.
All right, fabulous. Great. Thank you, Abe. All right, Mike, we're going to be spotlighting you now. You're going to replace Abe. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. So who is Mike Mintz? Mike brings a unique perspective to sales funnels, to AI-driven content, and to business development. He's very creative. He has a background in theater, law, and marketing, and he combines his creativity as a storyteller and using strategy as well. Good evening, Mike. Tell us a little bit more, just as your quick introduction.
Sure thing. Hi, Lesley. Hello, everybody. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. My name is Mike Mintz, and I am a sales funnel strategist. My business has recently rebranded to Spiral Content, and I love to create things that help people make money. I've been doing this for 15 years for companies, big, small, lots of different industries. I'm a recovering lawyer. So as I think as Lesley said, and I got into marketing just because it's a lot more fun A lot more fun. And you know, I love now working with both brand owners, people selling things online and trying to build brands selling products, as well as service providers. Because I think a lot of times, you know, one of the hardest things, and as a service provider, I know this firsthand, it's hard to sell yourself. So if you could make your website sell you, right, and you can automate a lot of that and sell yourself with content, that's great. You then can be free to do what it is you do best, and that's ultimately does for you. And we're going to talk some more about it.
Right. All right. Fabulous. Sounds awesome. We're looking forward to it. All right. And our final speaker, and I'm going to replace her as a spotlight. You know, we always say ladies first. And today, Ma'ayan, I will share that although I like to say ladies first, she and the team decided who was going to be speaking first in order to create the best flow. So, Ma'ayan, it wasn't that we purposely chose you to be third, but you and the team decided that the order was best and that you should speak third of everyone. So good evening, welcome. We're delighted to have you here. Who is Ma'ayan Jowell? She's a customer experience consultant. She's the founder of Curve Insights, and she helps small to medium-sized business strengthen their customer relationships by analyzing customer feedback and creating memorable experiences. Ma'ayan, good evening. Take it away. Tell us a little bit more, just in one or two sentences before we get going.
Thanks, Lesley, for having me. Well, you've said most of it. I'm initially from South Africa and I live in Ma'ayan in Israel. And exactly what you said, I felt that like many customers are receiving customer feedback and they're not having time to do anything with the feedback. Everyone's involved in marketing on social media, dealing with customer issues, the operational stuff. And our customers are speaking to us and we don't have time to listen to them, to take the feedback they're giving us, to analyze it and to find solutions that really impact the customer and the business. So that's Curved Insights, and I look forward to tonight's webinar and to helping each of you whichever way I can. So thank you for having me.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you, Ma'ayan. All right, I'm going to take the spotlight again just for a moment. So as I said, I'm Lesley Kaplan. For the past close on 30 years, I've been assisting small to medium-sized businesses with building and branding their businesses to become more productive, more profitable, of course. At the end of the day, that's the name of the game too when you're in business, to stay top of mind with their clients and also to create an impact in the area that you're trying to create an impact. So I welcome you here on behalf of the umbrella of the Israel Networking Hub. All right, so we're going to be starting the breakout rooms now. What are the breakout rooms? 10 minutes where you're going to be doing your elevator pitch. You're going to be introducing yourself to everybody in the room. And if you've got more than one business, be focused. Say one thing, who your target market is, how you assist them, anything if you have an ask or request, and you can also swap details within the room. What I request, please, we're going to be keeping it to 10 minutes from the time that I open up the rooms. As I said, we do not record them. I request of one person to take charge in the room because after 10 minutes, we're going to be ending. So you want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to speak. As I said, you can stay in the lobby. You're not obliged to join the room, and then we'll be coming back in 10 minutes. When I open the rooms now in a second, you can also, of course, unmute yourselves and then remute when you come back. All right, so take it away. We're going to be going into the rooms. If I see that there's a challenge or problem in any one room, or if people don't join, then I may just move you around in the middle. Take it away. We'll see you back here in the main forum in 10 minutes. So unmute yourselves. All righty, so we're now back from the breakout rooms. Hope you were successful, and we're going to be starting off and kicking off with our session. So I'm going to be spotlighting my friend Abe Braha, who's going to be speaking first. Abe, take it away.
Thank you so much. I know I'm sort of like splitting up my presentation to two. So I know that everyone wants more leads. So I figured I would start with, showing you a little bit about how to find more leads through cold email. And I'm going to just jump right into it because, we don't have that much time. So before I get started, I'm going to try to change this to the gallery view. If everyone could just raise their hands, just how many of you are in sales?
Or actually, you know what? I'm going to remove your spotlight for a moment. There we go. So now you can see the gallery view, and then afterwards I'll spotlight you again.
Can we just do that one? I'm just going to ask that one more time. How many of you are in sales? Just think, you're all in sales. That's the
yeah, we're all in sales, I think, in a different way.
We are all in sales in a different way. I'm gonna just share my screen. Um, well, you sell to your kids, you sell to your spouse, you're trying to everywhere you're out, you're trying to sell. So I think this whole session is really very, very relevant for any business owner. So you guys can see my screen, right?
Yep, kick it
Okay,
off.
perfect. So stop selling stuff, start providing value. That's what I named the presentation because sales has a bad rap. Everyone thinks that, salespeople are either sleazy, just trying to close the deal at any cost, take your money, but that's not really the case. So just a little bit about me before we start, so maybe you guys could like me a little bit. Um, but I live here in Beit Shemesh in Israel. I'm obviously married to the best wife ever. She is South African as well, Leslie.
Ooh la
I have
la.
two,
Okay, I didn't know
yeah,
that. Only now you're telling me.
yeah. I have two beautiful kids, that make me crazy, but they are very beautiful. I love to play basketball, so if anyone has any games, hit me up. Big Knicks and Mets fan, New Yorkers, and most of all, I really pride myself on being honest and helping as many people as possible. It's very important to me because of the fact that, like I said, sales gets a bad rap. So I really want to remove that ick from sales as much as I can. That's really my goal. So just to talk a little bit about cold email outreach, start off with some of the challenges because back in the day, I was doing sales for a company about 6 years ago, and we used to send out 100 to 200 emails a day. And we were setting up 2 to 3 meetings every single day. And these were just regular sent from Gmail emails, but it's very different these days. The game has changed. There are a ton of regulations. Google and Outlook, um, now, especially with AI, they have a ton of spam filters and regulations that you need to really stay away from. There's different ways to do that, which we'll get to. The EU specifically regulations are really, really strict. The US is a little bit more lenient, but if you're selling to the European market, it's like unbelievably strict. It used to be that you can just send from your main domain, but not anymore. You need to buy multiple domains, buy multiple inboxes because you're risking getting your primary domain blacklisted, which you obviously don't want. Deliverability is really, really rough to actually land in the inbox. There's so many different factors like bounce rates, how many like Google and Outlook are now looking for everything. Everything that they see is going to take into account into whether your emails go into spam or actually into their primary inbox. Even if you do get new inboxes and new domains, you can't send directly out of your brand new inboxes. They need to be warmed up. There are certain programs that actually do this for you where they'll send out dummy emails to different email addresses and then have them reply. So it kind of warms up your email inbox. Then you can go up in 2 weeks to a month, you can go and start sending out more emails. But if you just go and purchase some new domains and new inboxes and send them out, you're going to end up in the spam inbox. Your prospects' inboxes are flooded with emails, which means there are a lot of people that know about these regulations, are getting around them, and are still landing in the inbox, but their messaging is just terrible. So if you're not standing out, your prospects are probably getting 5 to 10 cold emails every single day that 90% of them are just irrelevant, bad copy, bad not catching your eye. So you got to be able to stand out. Um, Target audience. You want to define who your target audience is and build a list of your ICP. So who exactly is that based on company size, industry, revenue, location, title, all those different, really as clear as you can get, the better. So like I wrote here, the more clear you are with who you help, the more people that you can actually help. So if I help barbers in New York, you can go and target all the barbers in New York. There's a good quote I like is from Zig Ziglar. You can have whatever you want in life after you help enough people get what they want in life. Um, Meaning then people pay you money, obviously, uh, to help them. So define your target audience. Some tools that are going to really, really help when it comes to doing email outreach, if you want to do it on your own, Smart Lead and Instantly are really like the gold standard in email outreach. They've been around for a really long time. I happen to like this new company called Embermail. They're Israeli, really, really nice guy. The founder's awesome. So if you want to, get connected with him, obviously, let me know. But just a couple of tips, build out your lead list. Um, like we said before, make sure it's a good list with your ICP, and avoid being blacklisted. You got to create the new domains. You have to warm up those inboxes, and write emails that convert by using, first of all, short, concise, catchy subject lines. And once they open up that inbox, that email, you want to really directly address your prospects' pain points in your email. So here's a quick example of an email, and then I'm gonna conclude and move it over to Mike. Um, when you're writing a cold email, a lot of people think, I should put as much information as possible. I need to put PDFs, I need to put links to my website and my past work. But the goal of an email is really just to get a response, is just, get a catchy subject line. So this is an example of a client that I've been working with on email outreach. And they do sort of entry. I probably should have picked a more simple product, but they do, it's called Advanced Entry, the company. So they help nursing homes track their visitors instead of just, writing down who I'm coming to meet my grandmother and write it down on a paper and then sign in, sign out. They have a very advanced system that helps with that. So the subject line is visitor tracking idea. Um, Super concise, to the point. You probably know exactly what this is talking about or what it's going for. You click on the email. Hey, John, manually tracking visitors with old school sign-in sheets can be unreliable and lead to big compliance headaches. Healthcare facilities often face hurdles with real-time monitoring due to these outdated methods. So what you're doing is you're going directly into the pain point. With email marketing, it's like you open up your inbox, you look at the email for like 10 seconds, and if it's not relevant, you move on. If it sounds dumb, you move on. This way, you're going in, you can't know for sure if this is going to be a pain point of them, but if you do your research and generally my ICP has this and that pain point, if you go directly into it, you're like kind of boom. I know you probably have this issue. And then the solution, Advanced Entry uses AI-powered kiosks that monitor visitors in real time, keeping everything compliant and secure. Ever run into this kind of issue before? You're ending with like a soft CTA, call to action, which is, instead of, a lot of people these days think that the goal is, schedule click this link to schedule a meeting, but people don't really want that anymore. People want to just have conversations. You're asking them, do you ever run into this kind of issue? It's a very, very soft call to action. Instead of download my PDF or get on my website or give me a call, and then what you can do is you can have a conversation with them. You can direct them to your website. You can show them where you want to take them. And I think that's what Mike's going to talk a little bit about, is once they actually do get to your website, how do you really give them this like interactive experience? But yeah, you go for it. I'm gonna end there. That's really my cutoff.
All right, fabulous, great. Thank you. If you can just take down your screen as well.
Yeah, sure.
All right, awesome. Okay, Mike, so the Abe and Mike decided that this was the best way in order to get the best flow. So Mike is going to be sharing his bit, and then we're going to be coming back to Abe to continue. Go for it, Mike.
Excellent. All right. So today, guys, hi, I'm Mike Mintz. As we said before, I'm going to talk about sales funnels that engage and how you can massively profit from the future of lead generation. So I was a little inspired by Abe. Also, I've seen him present before, so I put one of these slides in as well. And I'll tell you a little bit about myself really quick. I married my best friend. This is my wife right here, Esther. I'm blessed with 5 kids that I actually like, not just love. They're all really cool and individuals, and I'm very proud of all of them. When I'm not doing sales funnels, I'm a boxer. I play video games. I like comic books and cooking. I also love the band Tool, if anyone knows who they are. And my mission is to help people make an impact. I really want to, to me, if you make money in your business, if I can help you make more money in your business, well, when you have more money, you have more options, you can make more impact. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, how you do that with sales funnels. So we're going to kind of talk in about 5 different things here, the different funnel types, why lead magnets are changing, how something called quiz funnels, which I'll go into, are really something that I'm finding extremely effective, how to do these, and then bring it all together. So there are 4 types of sales funnels. And before I kind of get into any detail, I just want to quickly tell you, if anyone doesn't know what a sales funnel is, it's okay. It's really just a fancy word for a focused, streamlined website that doesn't just end at like one point, right? So if you're, depending on what you're doing with it, if I'm capturing information, if I'm selling something, if I'm getting them to register for something, I'm getting them to apply for something, there's lots of different types of funnels, okay? But ultimately what it does is it has a bunch of automations on it, and it doesn't just stop at the visit. It takes that visitor through a series of experiences that are ongoing. So it's not just about grabbing the sale or grabbing the lead. It's about nurturing and keeping the relationship going, which Ma'ayan is going to talk about. But the sales funnel is really the technology and the content that helps you do that. And there's 4 types of main funnels. One is a lead funnel, as Abe talked about, to capture leads, right? So if I'm sending people to a site, hey, here's something, give me your email, whatever it is, or your phone. That's to get leads so we can follow up. Then there are what we call buyer funnels, or things where I'm actually selling on the funnel. There's event funnels, things like webinar registrations, as you guys are actually in a funnel right now, right? This is you are at a webinar, you register for the webinar, and there's other types of funnels that don't fit neatly into the 3 main categories. So I'm going to talk about 6 different types of funnels. The first one is an e-commerce funnel, okay? And this is what you're going to do when you want to sell products, okay? And what makes it a funnel is it has strategic upsells, okay? Which means, if you guys have been on Amazon, right? When you're on Amazon, you buy something. What do they do on Amazon when you buy something? It says, hey, people who bought this also bought this, or hey, you might like this, or frequently bought together. Those are all examples of upsells, order bumps, and whatnot. Now, if you put something in your cart on Amazon and then you go out and leave it there, you're going to probably get an email or notification, and that's an abandoned checkout email. Okay, so all these things are part of a funnel. And when they purchase, you're going to offer them more stuff. And even after they purchase, you're probably going to send them more messages, whether it's emails or text messages or whatever it is, showing them other things that they can buy that are related to what they already bought. And the beauty of putting it in a funnel is it's all automated, tracked, and it's data. It's not guesswork. Okay, a tripwire funnel. This is ultimately where, and these are great for service providers, small businesses, where you're offering somebody something very valuable at a very affordable price, $7 to $47. You might have seen this where, I did one of these recently where it was a viral video creation course. Okay, they were selling it for $40, I think it was, or $47. And, these guys have great videos. And I bought the course as much to learn from it, the techniques, as it was to see what it is the course included that they're selling in the tripwire. I was more interested actually in the funnel than the information. But once I'm in that course, guess what they did? Okay. They then offered me after a few weeks, and I was engaged and whatnot. I think it's really great. I get offered $1,000, VIP course, and then I got offered another thing. So that's the whole idea of tripwires, is it gets you in the door, because I'd rather have somebody spending $1 with me than getting one person spending $1 with me than getting 10 new leads that have never bought a thing. Okay, that's a tripwire. Next is the webinar funnel, okay? And you all are in that right now. I don't know if Lesley set this up as a funnel, if she has a pitch for you after this, but Lesley, we could talk about that if you want to see that later. But you guys all hit a sign-up page. You got a confirmation. You're now on the live webinar. You're going to get a follow-up email saying thank you for joining us, probably with a replay link. And then, if Lesley wanted to turn this into a sales opportunity, she would have a sales page to sell you on maybe a paid thing she's doing. I don't know if that's her strategy. I'm just here to present information. Okay, next, Application funnel. These are amazing if you're selling something very expensive, okay? I have a client now that I'm working with, who I believe is even here, and we're doing an application funnel for him because he's doing a mastermind. It's a very expensive, high-end mastermind. So what do I do here? Well, I capture the lead. I invite them to a webinar, okay? I then have a questionnaire, right? And so a calendar, if I can show them like different dates that this thing is, I have a questionnaire and I say, listen, you need to apply to be accepted to like this mastermind or this expensive thing I'm doing. So I do that, and then I show them, after they've answered, a pre-frame, which is sort of more information on the thank you page, getting them excited about wanting to be part of this. Then I have some emails that go, and usually I'm going to enroll them through a phone call. So you can imagine these are for things that might be like $500 a month, $300 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever, or maybe even a huge one-time payment. That's an application funnel. Finally, the last of the, I guess, the 5 main ones before I get to the star of the show is what's known as a lead magnet. Now, you guys have probably been familiar. You're familiar with lead magnets. You see them all the time, right? Hey, get my guide for free, the 10 best ways to shoot a nonprofit video, right, Elisheva? Or you know, Freddie, the best way is to set up you know, your tech company to work with China, right? Get our free video series on it, okay? You're offering something valuable for free to get people's information, okay? And ultimately what you do is you got content, a lead page, then a lead magnet where you're going to deliver it. I'm going to give you that free PDF. I'll give you the videos, whatever it is. Then I'm going to have a lead page stage 2 where I'm going to try to maybe get them to do another thing, and that's segmentation, where I'm going to try to understand more about my leads. Give them another thing for free. I create something called reciprocity. Okay, when I give you something for free, you're going to feel like you've gotten a gift. Often when people feel that, then they're more likely to want to give you something back, which will hopefully be their business. And then if that's the case, in lead magnet 2, I'm going to basically bring them to a sales page where I'm going to make an offer and try to get them to buy something. And that's a lead magnet. And here's why I say there's a problem with lead magnets in 2025, especially when it's just a PDF. Okay. One, there's no magic. We've all seen this for years. If it was 2016, I'd say amazing. PDF, yeah, lead magnets, throw it up. PDF is great. They don't convert as well. And even if you do get the information, a lot of times people don't even read it. I can't tell you how many PDFs I thought I wanted and I never even opened them, right? So what's the problem there? You might be saying, well, I got the information. Who cares? Because if people aren't engaging with what I give them, making that sale is going to be very hard, okay? 2, lead magnets, PDFs are old news. People have seen it. They see it as it's not really, you know, very exciting anymore. And 3, it's anonymous, okay? When I get a download of a PDF, all I know about that person is they like what was that PDF might have been about. I don't know much else about them. So I need to then create that multi-stage lead magnet and try to see, can I get them to download other stuff? It becomes very cumbersome to really understand the customer. So enter the quiz funnel, okay? You guys have probably seen this, right? A quiz, it's going to ask you a few questions. It's going to say, hey, let's get started, you know, just before you, and I'll show you an example of this in a few minutes. But you know, let's ask some questions about you to find the perfect whatever, right? You might have this on a home goods store, or, you know, Warby Parker, which is an example I'll show you. They do this to help you find the best glasses. You might even have this in an insurance, you know, agent might do this, or a financial institution. So they'll try to find more information about you. They'll interact, and ultimately that gives you built-in segmentation, because based on your answers, I will know more about you and maybe then what to sell you or show you or give you of value. It gives you insights. Every answer helps you to better understand the customer. Now, I'm not going to do this because we're on chat. I do this live, but ultimately, like if I was to do a quiz funnel live, I would ask you guys, do you have a website? Probably all, actually, let's do it. Let's do it. I can see you. Put your hand up if you have a website. All right, you got a website. Put your hand up if you offer a free lead magnet, a PDF, or some other kind of lead magnet on your website. Okay, a lot less people. Okay, but some. Now, put your hand up if you've gotten a lead from that lead magnet in the past 90 days. Less people, right? And put your hands up if any of those leads converted into sales. Like nobody, right? So why do we keep doing lead magnets? Why are we still doing these PDFs? Okay, there's a better way, and that's a quiz. It's going to engage people, but the quiz has to be done in a certain way, okay? And that's where it can get a little bit hard, right? But you need to ask different kinds of questions, and I'm not going to get into all these just because of time constraints, But you have the slide here, and I'm happy to send this deck to anybody. But ultimately, qualifying questions, things like what's your biggest hurdle, right, in growing your online presence? Okay, that's a qualifying question. A personalized question, I want to learn about their business. Which of these best describes your business model? And I might give 5 different examples. Then I might have an outcome question. I want to understand you better. Okay, what result would transform your business overnight? I might allow them to fill that in or give them, a series of answers that they can check off or multiple choices. Okay. And ultimately, what is that going to do? Well, it is going to give me customer insights. And the best thing, and you guys can see an example of this on my website, spiralcontent.com, where I've just launched this new site with it. And it is a quiz funnel. Okay. And in that quiz funnel, I say, find your perfect sales funnel. You start that quiz, you answer 7 questions, and then give me your information, and I will send you a personalized evaluation. It's a personalized evaluation based on your answers. And if you were to go back and answer differently, you'd get a different response, like a different thing sent to you. Okay, that's where the magic comes in. Okay, and so Warby Parker does this beautifully. And if anyone knows Warby Parker, you guys know, put your hands up if you know Warby Parker. Yeah. Anyone? All right, great. Right, they sell glasses, and they are amazing. They have, right here, top of funnel, okay, they have a quiz that you can launch. It's right on the homepage. And they say, what are you looking for? And they'll ask questions like, it starts with, are you a man or a woman? Easy, right? And then it'll take you through a series of like 7 or 8 questions. And at the end, they put this, which is the lead capture. They say, save your quiz results for later. And we'll send you a personalized email with what we think will be the best classes. And that's what they do here. Okay, that's the personalized email. And that's a perfect example of a quiz funnel. So you can look at my site, spiralcontent.com. You can look at Warby Parker if you want to see examples. Now, in the final minute, I'll just say I'm offering you guys something very special here. Lesley, I think you said this is okay for us to mention something. Okay, great.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I can just take 2 minutes, guys, if that's okay, everybody, put your hands up. It's okay if I just go through this? Great. Okay. So I want to offer you guys, and this is only for you guys on this webinar, I will know if you were here or not, 50% off of my regular price to get you a sales funnel. Now, sales funnels, depending on the complexity, typically I will charge anywhere between $1,500 to $3,000 for a funnel. Okay, how complex it is. And I'm willing to go with a basic funnel today at 50% off. And that's only for you guys. And what you're going to basically get is all of it done for you at half the price, okay? And that's whether you need a lead magnet funnel or a video sales letter funnel, more basic types of funnels. We can build a high converting system that will attract leads and drive sales. You don't even need the technology. I will put you on my platform, and you will basically have your own sub account on that platform, and I will be able to help you with everything you need. And I basically will give you a 2-step funnel included. Okay, $2,500 value. I do it on Go High Level, and I will set all that up for you. And that's a very valuable tool. I'll do all the copywriting, design, and image selection with of course your input. Full integration with existing accounts where relevant. And a 3 email nurturing sequence. Okay, so based on what it is we're doing in your funnel, right? We're not just gonna have them visit, we're gonna send them some stuff, right? And I will work on those emails with you and set up the basic automations. Now, as a bonus, I will do a custom promo video for you. And this is where it really gets interesting. Those are usually $1,200 to do a 2-minute video. You get that for free, included in this deal. Lead generation quick start guide. I will give you my guide on that. I'll give you 2 one-on-one strategy sessions. Usually those are $200 a pop. And I'll give you early access to a Entrepreneur's Daily Motivation newsletter that I am publishing and starting to send this year. My sales funnel playbook, and then finally some funnel email swipes. I have about 50 swipes for all different kinds of situations. So you're talking like $7,500 worth of value for $1,000. It's a great deal. Let me know if you want it. There's 5 spots. I'm only offering it to 5 people. So shoot me an email or hit me up in the chat privately, and I'd be happy to follow up with you guys. And that's my deal. So, right on time. All right. Okay. So
amazing,
with that,
great. And there is a question for you, Mike, as well, which you can answer via the chat afterwards or while Abe is talking. So we don't unfortunately have time to answer questions now, but you will be able to do it via the chat. All right.
And I'll put my stuff in the chat for you guys too, my info if you need it. Okay. Thanks.
Right. All right. Fabulous. All right. So we're now going back to Abe, and I'm going to he chose to split his presentation because it made sense after what Mike was saying now. So Abe, we're going to be spotlighting you again. Go for it. Take it away. Here with us.
Is the screen is shared, right?
Yep, we can see the screen. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So I asked before who wants to who's in sales. I guess I'll ask now, who wants to close more deals? Probably everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would love if we could bring someone on, if someone wants to volunteer, just to do like a very short role play. Elisheva, you want to?
So Elisheva, unmute yourself.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
unmuted, I think.
Yep, I
Yeah.
see you are.
Perfect.
Okay.
So I already like kind of know what you do, so that's good. So I just want you to let's just make believe that I am your target client. You know, I'm a
Mm.
nonprofit that is looking to create a video for uh let's say a fundraising campaign. I want you to go ahead and make believe, you know, I approached you. I said, "Hey, Elisha, I know I heard about what you do. Are you able to help me? How do you do that?" And now you go.
Like, how do I respond to that question you're
Mm-hmm.
asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would probably say, depending on what exactly they said to me, but I'd probably say something like, yes, this is exactly what I do. I would love to help you. Why don't you first tell me a little bit about who you are and what you need help with?
Yeah, so I kind of need help just with building out a video for one of my fundraisers. Can you do that?
Yeah, definitely. That's a big part of the type of work that I do. And I've worked on a lot of successful fundraisers that have made well over their intended goal.
Okay, amazing. I just want to before you know we go through, I'm just curious, like I have like zero budget. Is that going to be an issue? Or could you work on like a commission only maybe?
So currently today, I don't work that way, but I'd be more than happy to talk to you a bit about where you guys are in the process and what you stand to make from this fundraiser and try and create a package that works for you. In general, the fundraising videos that I create, they're really strategic. They're really made to make money. And especially with something like a fundraiser, you really see the ROI almost immediately should we take all the necessary steps. So I'd be happy to talk to you, but let's first kind of like break down a bit where your organization is at and see if we could work together.
Okay, that was not bad. I was hoping you would do worse, but just for the
All
point
right,
of the
fabulous. Come on,
presentation, but
let's
that
give
was very
Elisheva a
good.
round of applause on the spot. I'm assuming you guys didn't plan that before, or maybe
We
you
did
did.
not plan that before. No.
If
All
we
right,
planned that
great.
before,
Thank
that
you.
she would have sounded much worse to prove my
Yeah, well,
point.
Elisheva is
But
very polished, so she got some extra promotional marketing here. All right,
amazing.
Abe, let's continue.
Okay, so let's
Thank you,
continue.
Elisheva.
I want to just go just from that example. I think it's a little bit of a it's a sort of a good example, but when you're selling to someone, um, you know, you're talking about a lot about yourself. It's really, you know, hey, I do this, I do that, I've done this, I work with these companies, they've seen these results, it's been amazing for them. And then all of a sudden, it's like, well, can you even help me? And then I bring up something and like the reason why I said, but I don't have any budget, is because that's something that can be discussed and asked about before. Like I was speaking to someone and I asked her to do the same exercise. She's an author, and she helps you write out your book. If you want to write a book and sell it, she'll help you write it. So I started asking her, you know, can you help me with my book? And she said, yes, I can do it. I'm coming. I'm gonna write your book. It's gonna be the best book. And I said, the only thing I just wanted to ask you is, I'm targeting the Japanese market. Can you write it in Japanese? And she said, oh, well, no, I can't do that. I only do English and Hebrew. So the point is, you have to make the switch from you to them. Um, by using impact and pain-based selling. There's really, I'm going to give some examples of this, but no talking about yourself until they actually feel the pain that you solve. When someone comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm looking for your product and I heard you do that. Can you help me?" Instead of saying, "Yes, I first of all I can help you, and by the way, we are the best and we are," well, what do you do? What's your what are you looking to improve? Just keep on asking as many questions as possible until they literally feel the pain. They're like, "Oh, this guy gets me," and then keep asking questions until this is a little bit much, but until they're basically like drooling for like I sometimes get on sales calls and people are just like, okay, just tell me what you do already because you like I have this problem. So how do you fix it? And then you can go in and be like, okay, this is what I do and this is how I fix it. So you want to just to break it down a little bit to give you an idea of how you guys could like literally improve your sales calls today. Um, so you want to first start with the discovery. Again, all questions about them. You're always focusing on them. It's very, very hard not to talk about yourself. I know. But you have to just focus on your prospect. Ask as many questions as possible, um, so you could actually really fully understand their pain and what they're trying to get. So for my business, I ask questions like, can you tell me a little bit about your current sales operations? Or do you do any cold outreach? Is your team structured as sales development reps or openers and closers, or do you have everyone doing, sort of full cycle sales? What are you doing in annual revenue? What is your goal for the year? How do you plan on getting to that goal? Say things like, what do you mean by that? Tell me more. If someone says, yeah, I'm struggling with email marketing, what do you mean you're struggling with email marketing? You mean building a list or actually getting the email sent out? No, just getting the email sent out. When you say getting the email sent out, you mean like the correct tools to use or actually just, having the time to do it? Really dig as deep as possible until you level with them and you really have them, you know, with this sort of like this, they're like feeling the pain and then you can come in and you can be like, now I can do the pitch. Now I can be like, okay, once you actually understand your prospect's goals, then you can assess whether or not you can help them, which you obviously only try to help people when you can help them. If you get on a call and you start talking to someone and they say, like, I don't have a budget for your product, I don't have the money, I just started my business a week ago, then you're probably going to say, okay, that makes sense. I don't really think I can help you, but I know someone that does commission-based, whatever. Go talk to them. So if you can help them, only then can you pitch them because ethically, it's unethical to start to try and convince and sell someone who cannot benefit from your product or won't benefit, wasting their time, wasting their money. So just to give you an idea of sort of like a pitch that I would use is, so based on our conversation, you're showing them that you are listening, you understand. It sounds like you really want to get to your goal of, let's say, $500,000 in revenue this year, so you can start to hire more people, like you just mentioned in our conversation when I asked you 25 questions about that. Um, I've actually worked with founders who were literally in the exact same position as you without a clear path to their very similar goal. And there's many ways to grow your business, but none of them are as direct and controlled as cold outreach. And that's what we help with. We provide everything from A to Z when it comes to cold outreach, recruiting, hiring, system implementation, tools and tech, managing, coaching, training your team, holding your team accountable, implementing the correct KPIs that actually work, pretty much a done for you service, except the team is actually built for you in-house and is your team. Do you think that could work for your business or not really? And then that's kind of where, you would go in and jump and then try to jump in for the close or something like that. But it's really, really about asking about them, so then you can go ahead and pitch. So I just wanted to end with, if anyone wants help improving their sales, I'd love to offer my input, not trying to sell anyone, but I just would love to be in touch with you guys and see if there's any way that I can help you improve. I put this QR code, you could all scan it. It will take you directly to my calendar, or hopefully it takes you directly to my calendar. Put some time on there, and like I'm really happy to, help it in any way that I can.
All right, fabulous. Thank
Thanks,
you very
Lesley.
much, Abe. All right. And I remind you, everybody, if you want to just take that down, Please, Abe. I want to remind you that, as I wrote in the chat, that this recording will be available from tomorrow on my YouTube channel. So because there's a lot of stuff going on, and we're talking about different things, you may very well want to rewatch it. So you'll be able to watch it tomorrow and just go to Lesley Kaplan channel. All right, fabulous. So far we've had Mike and Abe. Thank you so much. What we still have left, we have a couple of announcements. And then we're going to be going through to Ma'ayan as well as onto the breakout rooms. So before we move to the announcements, actually what I want to do, I'm going to remove my spotlight. I would love to get a group photo of everybody. So if you can just all smile, that way I'm not going to catch you holding up your coffee cup or anything that you're going to be doing something that you don't want to be doing. I'd love it if you could please open up your camera. For those of you that can't, okay, chaval. So I'm going to wait a second or two if anyone's trying to open up. If not, so look up at the camera, give a smile. Okay, again. Thank you. All right, fabulous. You guys and ladies are awesome. So a couple of very quick announcements about upcoming events and things that are going to definitely interest you. All right, so firstly, we have coming up, it's according to date, if you are a woman, sorry for the men, or sorry to the men, if you're a woman, if you live anywhere near the Netanya area, we have on March 4th, Tuesday, March 4th, we have our in-person monthly event. We have many that come from out of the area. It's close to a train station, and it's also, there's free parking. So it is on my website. Just go to lesleykaplan.com and you'll see under the event section, and you'll be able to sign up. And then we have a fabulous event. Debbie is with us today. And on that note, I will wish her Mazal Tov. I said she must be Superwoman or Wonder Woman. She has a wedding tomorrow. Her daughter is getting married tomorrow, and she is here today joining us here. So kol hakavod to you, Debbie. She said, yeah, well, everything's done. Well, cool. Everything's done. It's just amazing. Debbie, and we have also Dvir Cohn. We're going to be having a fabulous session on selling and profiting in e-commerce, whether it's Amazon, Shopify, and different other platforms. Pros and cons, is it for you? We're going to be breaking it down. So save the date for men and for women, just like tonight, part of the Israel Networking Hub, March 26th. Make sure you save the date. You will be getting an email from that as well. Then I invite you all on a regular basis. Every single Monday, we have the Monday Motivation Spotlight with myself and a special guest, an Israeli business prophet, nonprofit, or individual making a difference. If you would like to be a future spotlight, reach out to me as well. We do have people scheduled already for the next almost 2 months. And if you've missed any of these recordings, whether it's from the networking group or from the Monday Motivation, you can check it out on YouTube or Spotify. And don't forget to subscribe. I'd love it if you do. And of course, the benefit for you is that it gets fed into your feed. And just that I can explain to you all these different things, all under the umbrella of the Israel Networking Hub. There's the Professional Women's, which we have in the morning, sometimes following the Monday Motivation. And then we have, of course, our monthly session. And we have a Facebook group too. If you're not part of the dedicated Facebook group, please go to Israel Networking Hub. And this is a chance and the opportunity for you to build relationships and also promote your events with everything that you do. Promote what you're doing, products, events. You can promote every single day if you want to, just different things. Go to the group and you can check it out. And the last slide that I would just like to show you is, many of you are familiar with it. Over the last 2 years, I've written 2 books available in Israel from my website or on Amazon, where it's addressed many of the challenges that business owners have. And I'd be delighted for you to take a look and see if it's something that is what you are wanting to do. I would like to please introduce you and thank you to our sponsor. Norman, if you would just like to unmute yourself. He's going to just be talking literally for a minute. After a minute, I'm going to cut you off. So thank you to Norman Chait from Nardis Advisors. He's our sponsor for all these different programs. And good evening. Good to see you. Tell us in literally a minute what you do.
I am a U.S. financial advisor that focuses on Americans living in Israel or expats in other countries. I also have an Israeli license, but the main focus is for people that are living here that have assets in the United States.
Okay, fabulous. So if anyone wants to know anything more about Norman or from Norman, please go speak to him, Nardis Advisors, and we thank you for your sponsorship. All right, we've now reached the exciting time. Ma'ayan, you can unmute yourself. I'm going to be spotlighting you. Ma'ayan, who deals with customer experience and relationships, welcome. Take it away. And don't run away after Ma'ayan, because we do have our final set of breakout rooms, and then the speakers will just sum up one quick thought afterwards.
Thank you, Lesley. So I don't have a picture of my husband and my kids, but like Abe, I have a South African partner, spouse, and like Mark, I am a boxing enthusiast. So thank you so much for having me. I am a customer experience consultant. What does customer experience consultant mean? You'll see there's often an abbreviation for customer experience, meaning CX. We're going to go through a few steps in a few minutes that really encompasses what customer experience is. It is actually a methodology, and you'll see in practical terms in the next few minutes what that really entails. So first things first is that if you already have customers, you've signed on customers, pat yourself on the back. It's not so simple to sign on customers, not in a difficult market that we're in right now, not for many startups. Even companies are established. Getting a customer is not so simple. I'm hoping with the assistance of Abe and Mike's amazing insight you received today that it will help you more. But definitely signing on customers is not simple, so pat yourself on the back. So imagine you are a business owner, you've had your business for 20 years, and you've decided that it's time to call it quits. It's time to retire. If you reflect back, what would you want your customers to say about you? How would you want to be remembered? So think about this question and answer at the end again. What would you want your customers to say about you? How would you want to be remembered by your customers if you decide to retire after 20 years in business and call it quits? So in a small town in South Africa, a businessman decided to retire after nearly 40 years, in fact, and a local publication took to Facebook to wish him well on his retirement. And he attracted almost 550 customers who made comments, and they shared it 170 times, this post. And some of the comments that were made were as follows. It's an appliance business, and the customer said, "No ways. My favorite appliance and bed shop for years. You touch the hearts of all your customers. Always friendly and helpful. Thank you. We'll never have another shop like yours with friendly and excellent service. You're going to be sorely missed." Very sad to see this happen. Amazing people and great service. Thank you for the wonderful service, great advice, and laughter over the years. We'll miss you. So if you look at this feedback, what you'll see is that they're really sad to see this business close. They really formed a close relationship with the business owner, with the team. They were clearly really touched by the experience when visiting the store. They speak about excellent service, friendly, helpful, laughter, a great experience. It's really about the human touch. It seems it's like hard to replicate this experience. So the story is really personal. It's actually my father's business. It's our family business that was closed after nearly 40 years. And it was really heartfelt to read these 550 messages and the fact that 170 customers shared this with their network. It really shows you that the personal touch counts. They want moments of laughter. Customers want moments of laughter. They want to feel engaged. They want good service. It's almost like our expectations are so low that when we have these personal moments of touch, we really are wowed by them. So just something personal to share with you. And I'm really hoping that my passion for customers is something that will impact you today and can make your business successful too. So let's go back one step. Who are your customers? You know, in our breakout session earlier, I spoke to a teacher. We had all sorts of other, sorry, I have an alarm going off. 1 second, sorry. We have all sorts of businesses on this chat, and let's have an understanding of who your customers are, as often this doesn't feel so clear. It can be the patient, it can be a guest, it can be a shopper, it can be a passenger, a user, a student. Customers come in different forms. No matter the industry, the size of your business, the basics of how we interact with our customers and the impact we wish to achieve remain the same. We want to create moments for our customers that are memorable, an experience that they'll share with others and they'll want to repeat. So we're going to have a look at 8 ways to create customer relationships that feel personal and long-lasting. Why do I say they need to feel personal? Because we only really remember things when they feel personal. If our customers feel touched by the experience with your business, it leaves an impact, and therefore they'll want to experience it again, and they'll share it with others. And with social media these days, people like sharing. If we can get this right, it will instantly impact the relationship that you have with your customers, and it will increase your business revenue. So let's have a look at these 8 points. Number 1, creating your customer strategy. This is really the foundation. What is a customer strategy? It's when you align your business objectives with your customer objectives. So when you define the customer objectives, you need to define 2 things. Ask these questions. Maybe take a screenshot of this if you'd like. What is the unique value that you're offering your customers? And what is the commitment that you're offering your customers? What can they expect from your brand? These 2 questions really help define what differentiates you from your competitors. The other really key element is that very often we think it's just the customer-facing departments that need to know about this customer strategy. It really isn't. You need to go deep into the organization and speak to other departments too, and let them know what your customer strategy is. Because at the end of the day, they all impact your customer in some way. Your R&D team are making ad changes to your application. It impacts the end user. Finance make a change to what payment platform they're using. It affects the end user. So it's really important that all departments know your customer strategy and that you're aligned. Know your customers. Who are you targeting? You need to define who your customers are. Understand who your customer segment is. Are they tech savvy, millennials, or traditional middle-aged adults? What are their buying habits? Do they use your website just to view online and then they come buy in store? So define who your customer is. Create a picture of what your customer looks like and know who you're talking to. Once you literally have that picture in mind, you can put yourself in their shoes, and then from there you can understand things from the customer perspective. So define this on a broad level, and then you can really go into a much deeper level and define it on a persona level, where you understand their behavior, you understand their likes, dislikes, what influences them, who influences them. But on a basic level, first do the basic outline of who your customer is. Identifying customer touch points. What does this really mean? Imagine this like a journey map. It's like visualize it like a journey map. This is where you identify how your customers interact with your brand. What's that relationship like? Where does it start? So first, your customer will do some research about your organization, about your company, maybe from colleagues, from friends on social media. They'll view your website. They'll then possibly make a purchase from you through the payment gateway on your website, or they'll walk into your store or into your business through a payment on the mobile, or they will do a review for you after your purchase. They'll come and chat to you on your chat engine. These are all touch points. These are all ways your customer engages with you. And what's really important is that these are the moments you have to wow your customer over. So if you look on my screen on the top left, it says there human touch alert. So I've added this to all the screens where this is the place for you to make that human touch, for you to be personal with the customer, not too personal enough that they feel the human touch, they feel the impact. So here is where we really engage with our customers, and we really want to create those memorable moments. These are your moments of truth, those make or break points that are going to keep your customer engaging with you, purchasing from you again, telling their friends about you, or saying, you know what, I don't want to actually interact with this company anymore. I don't want to be associated with them. So this is that moment where you can make that point, that change, that connection. Very important is to make sure that you can maintain those relationships, you can grow those relationships, and this is the foundation of where that happens. Next, listening to customer feedback. Here is when you want to listen and hear what your customers are saying to you. So sometimes your feedback will be positive, and sometimes it'll be negative. If it's possible, positive feedback, yay. Let's celebrate the positive feedback. Let's celebrate what we're doing right and see where else we can use that in the business. Negative feedback, Well, here's an opportunity for improvements. So how do we get feedback from our customers? Very often on a more formal level through surveys. Other times it can be through one-on-one conversations. See what your customers are writing about you on social media. When you're speaking to your customers and engaging with them, what product features are they speaking about? What do they want improvements on? Take this back to your product team. And understand what type of questions your customers are asking. Understand their tone. There's a lot of unstructured feedback that we're getting from our customers that we're missing. It's a lot of feedback they can use to improve our product, our customer relationships, our organization as a whole, our revenue. It all comes from the customer feedback. Converting feedback to solutions. This is where the magic happens. This is where all the good stuff comes in, because you're taking the customer feedback you just received and you're converting it into solutions that impact your business. You're looking here for impactful solutions that can really make a difference. I was at an event last week, a customer experience event, and the VP of customer experience from Money.com spoke. And she mentioned that when she gets feedback from customers about a product change and she takes it back to the business, she never speaks about wanting a change. She always speaks about wanting an improvement, because generally the foundation of what you're wanting is great. You just need to improve it based on the customer's feedback. And I really found that like it resonated with me, that we want to improve it, not necessarily change. And I think that the business will adopt this change more easily, this improvement more easily, if we use the right wording, and it'll be more likely to assist us to make the change, and there'll be less resistance. So let's say, for example, as a small example of what we can do practically, say we are a bank and we've had customers complaining to us that they want to set up a bank account for their 16-year-old child, but the bank is only open when the child is when their teenager is at school. So what are the solutions we can provide? So perhaps the bank can provide an option of creating the bank account digitally on the website. Perhaps they can set up an on-site bank on-site at the campus of the school or the university, and there they can bring in representatives from the bank, and you can set up your bank account on the site at the location. Or one day a month, you can extend the bank hours at a branch in that city, and you can then encourage students to come there to open the bank accounts. So if you look at those different solutions, they're simple solutions. And very often you need a simple solution that makes a big impact. So we need to look overall at the customer's feedback, all the various solutions we can come up together with, and then decide what impacts the business the most, but doesn't necessarily require the hugest amount of resources. So it's small changes, big impact. Closing.
Ma'ayan, we need to start ending off. So if you can just try go through these quickly, because we need time for the breakout rooms.
We're nearly there. Amazing. Thank you. Closing the loop. It's really important to thank your customers when they give you feedback. Whether you implement the feedback or not, it's really important that they know they've been heard and they see the value in providing you more feedback in future. Creating a culture of happiness. This sounds very cheesy, but it's really important that you have happy customers, happy employees, because they impact your customers. If you have employees who are smiling, who are happy, who have technology that helps them to support your customers, in turn, you will have happy customers. And lastly, turning your customers into fans. These are your advocates. These are your customers who are walking away from you behind the scenes, speaking to their friends on social media, their colleagues at work, and telling them about you and raving about you. And it's really important to create those advocates, and you do it unintentionally. They are your loyalists. So here is a summary of what we just discussed. This is the core of customer experience, the methodology, and this tells you how to create a lasting customer relationship with your current customer base and future. Take a screenshot if you would like. And lastly, if you'd like to get hold of me, I'd love to engage with you. This is my QR code to get to my LinkedIn page. Send me a message, here are my contact details, and I'd love to help you change your customer relationships and help it benefit your business and create those wow, amazing moments between you and your customers. So thank you very much, and thanks, Lesley, for having me.
So we have come to the end of a fabulous session. I thank you so much for joining our evening tonight. the Israel Networking Hub. And just to literally sum for a couple, mamash a minute each person, I'm going to put on our screen our 4 speakers, and I would like to thank them so much, to Mike, to Abe, and to Ma'ayan. Mike, you want to just literally one sentence? I'm going to replace you, just to sum up.
One sentence, yeah.
Why not 2 sentences?
Wow, it's really hard. One sentence, you caught me off guard. Yeah, I mean, listen, all I can say is this, is that, whatever kind of business you have, whether you're, e-commerce seller, you're selling stuff online, you're selling services, you're a coach, you're a solopreneur. I know a lot of people, I was told in the breakout room, are solopreneurs. These techniques work. I mean, they do work. And you pitch them in different ways for different types of customers and different types of businesses. But ultimately, they're about really kind of streamlining that experience so you can deliver the most value and do what you do best, instead of having to sit there and trying to convince people one by one to work with you, because you have something really valuable to offer. So anyway.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, Abe, you're on next. I'm going to replace you. Just a couple of words from you.
So I really just wanted to say thank you very, very much to you, Lesley, and to everyone else that joined. Like, this is very cool, very nice to meet the people in the breakout rooms. Again, like, if there's any way that I can help anyone with anything that has to do with sales or even not related to sales, if I can make an introduction, please reach out. Like, I'm happy to. I put a link in the chat if you guys want to, schedule a call with me. I'd be happy to help. Thank you.
Great. Fabulous. And people can just Google you or look at you on social media, likewise with any of our speakers. All right. Thank you. Ma'ayan, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I just wanted to just say that if anyone wants to, deep dive further into how you're engaging with your customers, where you can find improvements, I'm really happy to set up a call, have that conversation, exchange ideas, see where I can help you. You can help me, help you grow your business. It's the basics of basics is just engaging with a customer one-on-one, getting that personal touch. We need AI, we need the technology, the tools, but we also need that personal touch. So please reach out to me on LinkedIn and let's chat, and let me see where I can help you grow your customer base. You've got the sales side of it, but this is about maintaining those customers so they really remember every interaction with you, and they want to grow with you and remain your customer. So thank you very much and have a beautiful evening.
Amazing. Fabulous. So thank you so much, firstly to Abe, to Mike, and to Ma'ayan for being fabulous speakers. Thank you to all of you for joining, especially those that joined live, but also to those that are watching the recordings. And I look forward to seeing you at our next event for the Israel Networking Hub. As I said before, make sure you engage in the Facebook group. If you're not yet part of our Facebook group, please do join. We'd love to see you there. It's another great opportunity to connect and for you to promote your businesses. I'm Israel Chai. We have a challenging couple of days ahead as well. So just stay strong. We are resilient, and we look forward to seeing you next time and at any of our other events. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Lesley Kaplan, and thank you once again to our sponsor, Nardis Advisors. I'm Israel Chai.